Greetings, beautiful people. So this is I am Divine Afterwadi MIJ, and you are listening to the Day Healing Podcast. Now, today we're going to be talking about learning how to read a nutritional facts label. So if you haven't, go in the kitchen and grab a like something like a canned good or something that has the nutritional label on the back of it, because you're going to be following along with that, and then you're going to be writing down some notes. So let's get started. Now first I'm going to start off with just about the nutritional facts label. The label had been updated and it reflected the changes in the American choices and eating patterns. The vitamin A and the vitamin C aren't required on the chart anymore, since Americans consume the adequate amount of vitamin A and vitamin C. Vitamin D and potassium are newly added to the label because we do not consume enough vitamin D and potassium. Now, calories and serving size, we're going to get to that. The added sugars and fibers, we're going to get to that. We're going to learn what the daily value is. So, we're going to start off with what are nutrients. So, nutrients also provide the energy that we need to perform all daily functions and processes, from maintaining heartbeat to playing basketball. So now you have different essential nutrients. You have the essential nutrients, and then you have the non-essential nutrients. So the essential nutrients is nutrients that must be consumed from foods because they can't be in the body. They cannot be made up in the body. They have insufficient quantities to meet its needs and to support health. The non-essential nutrients are nutrients that can be made in insufficient quantities in the body that can meet the body's requirements and support health. So, nutrients, there are six nutrients found in the body and in foods. They are carbohydrates, lipids, which is fats, proteins, vitamins, minerals, and water. And water is 70% made up in our body. We have 70% water already into our bodies. So then you have the micronutrients, MACRO, which is micro, which is meaning big, large. Micronutrients, which are needed in much larger amounts to support normal functioning. Like we just said, the carbohydrates, and the carbohydrates is like cereals and breads and nuts and fruits. Also lipids, which is also fat. They have a diverse group of organic compounds, including fat, which is also called triglycerides. Then you have oils. Then you have phospholipids. Then you have steroids. Steroids, not steroids, but Also protein. Protein is the building blocks known as amino acids, and this helps for it to grow and to maintain tissues that are in the body. Types of foods for proteins. Most people get their protein from meat. Vegetarians may get their protein from vegetables, and there is also some fruit that contain a small amount of protein. And you also have dairy products, soy, nuts, and seeds. So then you have water, which is also the macronutrients. Remember, macro, is big, it's large, macro. So you need large amounts of these. So micronutrients, micro meaning small. Micronutrients, they are required in small amounts, like vitamins and minerals. And probably later on in this season, I'm going to talk about like trace minerals and vitamins and minerals and stuff. So vitamins assist you with regulating your metabolism, and the minerals are inorganic substances that assist in body processes, and they are essential to structures of hard tissues like bones, like your bones, and soft tissue. So now I hope that everyone grabbed a hold of your can or your whatever food that you have to look on the back at the nutritional value so that you won't have to so that you can get a visual, because all of this is audio, so that you can give a visual look and you can follow along with your canned good or box of cereal, anything. Now, we're going to start at the top of your nutritional facts label, at the very top where it says nutrition facts. We're going to start at the serving size. Now, the serving size is not an entire box. It shows you how many individual recommended servings are in the package. So pay attention to the serving in container. It tells you what amount equals one serving of the product. Every other nutrient value listed on the label is based on this amount. So say it says, so how what if it says, serving size one half of a cake, servings per container, and it says two. Now it says amount per serving. We're gonna like go to the amount per serving. Now the amount per serving or servings per container, this tells you how many servings you can get from one package. So if one package is, say one package is 250 calories and it has servings per container and it has two containers. So you're going to 250 times two because it's two in one box. So you're getting 500 total calories per package. So 250 times 2 is 500. And that's going to do with all of them. 250 times 5, 250 times whatever it says per container. That's how you're going to know how many calories you're eating for one container or for two. If you eat the whole thing, you're going to know how much it is. Some foods it don't have, for servings per container, it'll have what I think it'll have package. It'll have something else. So we're gonna go to the calories. Now, calories, it's a unit of energy. Calories in food come from carbohydrates, proteins, and fats because calories give us the energy that we need um to be able to think and to be active. That's what give us um our energy, the calories. That's how that's why it's important to know how many calories that you are getting within a day. And it's a recommended amount is based on a 2000 to 2500 calories a day. Now your recommended daily calories may be higher or lower based on your individual needs. So based on like your health and everything, certain people need um certain macronutrients or certain micronutrients because of some existing illnesses or health conditions. So let's go to calories from fat. Now there is on your nutritional facts, it says I had to set this up. Matter of fact, I'm gonna set all of them up so I can see because it's uncomfortable. I gotta be comfortable and put this here. Now, limit all types of fat. Now, especially saturated and trans fat, which these are linked to have all types of health problems like cardiovascular disease, all types of diseases with this whole fat thing. Now, on your nutritional facts sheet label, you're gonna see total fat. That's gonna be like in black, and then you're gonna see. Let's go to then we're gonna see the percent, then daily value. Now, the daily value, this tells you the percentage of the recommended daily value of a nutrient that you get in one serving. So, in one serving, it says total fat. Now, has saturated fat, it'll have trans fat, it'll have different types of polyunsaturated fat, it'll have monounsaturated fat. Most of the fat you eat should be unsaturated. So pay attention to like the fats that are on this. Too much fat, too much cholesterol, too much sodium, and all that can contribute to health problems. So that should be as low as possible. Like I said, the daily value contains nutrients. Make sure this thing is keep 444. Yeah. So a food that has more than 20% of the daily value of a certain nutrient is a good source of that nutrient. So now anything so your goal is to reach 100% for each vitamin and mineral each day. An excellent source of nutrient contains 20%, which is a good source, contains 10 to 19% of your daily value. Okay, so it has total fat. Now it's going to say saturated fat. So then you will see saturated fat and then you'll see the percent daily value. Now, saturated fat, 37% is way too freaking much. That is way too many saturated fat. The value is too high. You want to limit your daily value in your total fats. Like I said, total fats. It can be saturated fat, it can be trans fat, it can be polyunsaturated fat. Okay, the polyunsaturated fat is okay. Not as much though. The polyunsaturated fat, the monounsaturated fats, those are good. That saturated fat and that trans fat, those are death. Avoid those at all costs. Make sure on your daily value it does not anything over 20% is too much. That is way too much. Even make it lower. Make it lower than that. So then we have, oh my gosh, the children. Then you have calories from fat. You have the calories, then you have the calories from fat. This is the number of calories that come from fat. It is not the percent of fat in the food. So it may have some of them may have the calories from fat on the it may have a number, some of them may not have a number. Um just make sure you avoid those too. If food gets a lot of its calories from fat, eat that sparingly. Total fat intake should be no more than 30% of total calories. So no more than 30%. When it says calories from fat and it has a number, that number should not exceed over 30%. That's way too much. So let's go to we already did the daily value, total fat. Fat, okay, fat is essential for our bodies. There are four different types of fat, like we said. There's monounsaturated fat, those polyunsaturated fat are the kinds of fat that are heart healthy. These kinds of fat may not be included on the food label. The saturated and the trans fat are unhealthy for your heart and it should be limited. But these are everywhere on the food label. They're definitely going to have these on there. Um, so now let's go to cholesterol. It may have cholesterol in big bold letters also. So that's going to be the next thing after your total fat. And so you have the cholesterol. Your cholesterol, could I? Yeah, your cholesterol is a substance found only in animal products, and eating too much cholesterol is not healthy for your heart. This can also can cause all types of heart issues, heart disease, um, inflammation of heart. Those things are not good for your are not good for nobody to eat either. Now we are going to go to the other side, sodium. We're going to go, sodium should be right up under cholesterol. Now, like I said, cholesterol is not good. A high dose of cholesterol is not good for your heart. It's not a good substance to be adding. So sodium tells you how much salt is in the food. People with high blood pressure are sometimes told to follow a low sodium diet because of the sodium may trigger their blood pressure. So sodium is a we're gonna go through, like I said, trace minerals and minerals and everything like that. But sodium is kind of up there with cholesterol. Too much salt in your food is too much. Small amounts of salt is not too bad, but overindulging, because everything has salt in it. Every seasoning has salt in it, whether it's a big amount, whether it's a small amount. Everything, every seasoning has salt in it. Next, we're going to go to total carbohydrates. Your carbohydrates, like we said earlier, gives your muscles and your brain energy. Certain types of carbohydrates are sometimes listed on the label. Certain carbohydrates like dietary fiber and sugars is part of the total carbohydrates. So that's a good added sugars and fiber. Added sugars are shown to help you with how much sugar is included. Certain guidelines suggest that you have 10% or fewer calories from added sugars, which is a max of 50 grams per day for most people. So, and that's still too much. Compared added sugars to dietary fiber, keep fiber high and added sugar low when you can. Fiber is that substance that helps your bowel movement. Like it's that it's that what you call it, that structure that keeps your bowel together, that keeps it from not being as watery. I don't mean to sound so that, but that's just what fiber is. Fiber helps with digestion and it keeps you full between meals. It's also when food has fiber in it, it means that you're going to stay longer in between meals, so that you fiber keeps you full. It what keeps you, that satiety, that's satiety, that satiety. It keeps that, so you want to get foods that are good and they're rich, that are in a fiber, especially for children, because they be want to eat every 3 seconds. I promise you. Then let's go. So let's not trying to be a single. Now let's go protein. Now protein, this nutrient is used to build muscle and fight infections. Like I said, like most people get their protein from meat, but people who do not eat meat, they get their protein from, vegetables, and some fruit have it too. So most people should get 50 to 75% of grams of proteins daily. So anything like between 50 grams or 75 grams is a good daily dose of uh, protein. Now, for the total carbohydrates, the greater the difference between total carbohydrates and sugars, the more nutritious the carbohydrates. So if the sugars are lesser than the total carbohydrates, you'll be getting more carbohydrates. Okay. So carbohydrates should be 55. I know I didn't go over this. 55 to 60% of total daily value. Carbohydrates should be 55%. 50 to 60%. Protein, 50 to 75%. And like limit the intake of like all the fats, the saturated fats, the trans fat, polyunsaturated fat, monounsaturated fat. That's fine. The cholesterol, sodium, horrible. Now the protein is good. You can keep, that's good for muscles and fighting infections. Like you can so now sugars, like we said, give you instant energy. Sugar is like, it gives you instant energy. Eating too much of it can be unhealthy. Sugar is like that, though it only satisfies that little place in your brain for only like a couple minutes. It's like you will hit that spot, then the spot uplift, then you have to redo that, then you have to put more sugar on that spot, then it'll lift up again, then you put more sugar on that, this for you to be able to feel that feeling of, not excitement, but it'll just give you a feeling of satisfying feeling, or kind of like covering up something. maybe some people may me and my friend was talking about it. My best friend was talking about this, and we were talking about, oh my god, this is way off, but it do have something to do with this. He eats a lot of candy, and I was talking about maybe that candy is covering up something, because that candy, it has sugar. Of course, all candy has sugar in it, chocolate, all of it has sugar in it. And when you eat it, you feel happy, you feel excited, you feel then that feeling go away. Then you gotta pop in more candy. Then it'll hit that spot, then that feeling go away. Then you gotta pop in more candy. It's like an instant energy, like an instant feeling, but that feeling go away just as quick as you got it. So don't consume a lot of sugar. Oh my gosh. Them drinks, the drink that I drink, the teas. I drink those teas. Gold Peak, them teas had a lot of freaking sugar in it. I didn't even know it until I started reading labels. It has a lot of sugar in it. So I'm starting to like I've been putting tea bags in it, but now I've just started diluting it with water because it's too much. Now, vitamins and minerals tells you the percent daily value of vitamin A's, vitamin C's, calciums, irons you are getting from the product. Other vitamins and minerals may be included in the section. They may have vitamin A, they may have calcium, they may have vitamin C, they may have iron. Like these are the vitamins that are going to be in whatever product that you decide that you want to consume. So get more of carbohydrates, get more um, natural than added sugars, like natural juices, like the natural fruit juices, like even your tuna sat when your tuna when you get tuna, instead of getting oil, get it in water. In your fruit juices, instead of what it has, instead of added sugar or sugar, or what's the other, what the sometimes they have artificial flavors. Like instead of getting those, you can get 100% fruit juice. Those are way better. Get enough of nutrients beneficial to your health, such as vitamin A's, vitamin C's, the minerals that, like I just said, there's minerals, calcium, and iron, and of course your fiber. You need fiber to be able to have a sustainable, bowel movement. You don't want to be sitting there strained on the freaking toilet. We all know. Yep, this is explicit. Explicit. No regrets. No excuses. Yep, we all have to do this. We all have to have a bowel movement. This is nothing new. Nothing new. Okay. So, daily value come from the recommendations for a 2,000 calorie meal plan. Your needs may be higher or lower, like I said, based on your height, your genetics, your activity level. And just keep in mind the average of these daily value percentages. Some of them are not for everybody, maybe going through different things where you need different vitamins, or where you have to stay away from certain things because you're going to trigger certain things in your health or something like that. Yeah, so now you know how to read your nutritional facts. I don't want to hear no one complaining. Nutritional facts, you're gonna start there, then you're gonna go down, you're gonna see your calories. Make sure you're counting your calories. Make sure you look at your total fat. Make sure there's no lot of that's not a lot of saturated fat. These kids. Make sure there's not a lot of saturated fat. There's not a lot of trans fat. Remember, the polyunsaturated fat and the monounsaturated fats are your good fats. Cholesterol and the sodium are bad. Those are not good for your health, and not good to be in your diet, even though they're in a lot of things that we consume. Your total carbohydrates, make sure though that number is higher than your sugars. Keep your sugars at a limited level. Limited. Goodness gracious, sugar is everywhere. We are addicted to sugar. So calories per gram. Now calories per gram. Remember, 944 calories per gram. You get 9 calories per gram for fat, which is the highest. Carbohydrates, you get 4, and protein, you get 4. So pay also attention to that. Calories per gram. Each each one of these calories has a number per gram. You have to add a number to it. So if you have calories per gram, 9 calories. If you have like 5 calories, that's a lot. Like that's too much. That's too much. That's too much. All this fat and saturated fat and cholesterol. Like I can't even believe like the fat this we ain't paying attention this whole time. this entire time. But it's very beneficial to know how to read these labels. And then it's kind of like healthy shopping. Look, when you, I'm just going to say it, especially when you have food stamps. When you have food stamps, it's like you go on a, you be on a binge. It's like forget about eating healthy, forget about all the carbohydrates and protein and lipids, and forget about all of that. None of that matters. You just going straight to what pleases the eye most. Like you even go and look for stuff that you used to eat as a kid that you ain't even seen in a while, like things like that. Even they'll have potassium, iron too, added on to right up on the protein. When it has protein, that's where all your vitamins and your calcium and your iron and your potassium and stuff like that. But yeah, you go wild when you get the food stamps. It's crazy. They don't want to teach you how. There's no booklet that come and says, a smart, healthy way to shop. There's nothing that comes with that. It's just here you go to car, here you go shopping. Yeah, give us your life story every couple months, and yeah, those things they're very appreciated. Even though I don't feel like it's just women and children that should have, the SNAP benefits. I feel like everyone should have a percentage of it because everybody needs to eat. What do you mean? Everybody needs to eat. And when people want to be buying here selling food stamps. But that is all I have to do for today. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. I hope that you took notes. I hope you learned a lot about health and about proteins and about your macronutrients and your micronutrients. We're gonna keep this healthy regimen going. Um, I don't know what next topic gonna be, but if you're following me, you know that I always post the topics on the Monday, so you'll know if you follow me firsthand what the next topic will be, and make sure you subscribe to my podcast. Make sure you subscribe. There are some links in the description, and yeah. And until next time, guys and guys, oh, I forgot my little thing. I hope y'all take care of yourself, being around people who actually like you and not around the ops, because that's a lot happening. There's a lot of robots out here. So you really have to pay attention to that. Like, see, they everywhere. Me was just, they are everywhere. You cannot escape them. Just put your armor on and everything, and you will be straight. Wear your covering on your head. Keep your shades on, baby, because there's robots everywhere. So until next time, gods and goddesses, peace.